just no time in Paris. The time is the one thing you don't have. You've got a lot of money, you've got a big dressing room with big egos, but time you don't have. And maybe from the beginning, and it was actually quite, now with hindsight, quite easy to see very quickly, it was just not going to work. So yeah, of course, Zidane I think would be great. He's got this sort of man management qualities that I think are required in a club like that. Is he the answer on his own? I don't think so. I agree with Frank. If you go and bring Zidane to the club, he has to be the boss. He has to be full power. So if you're late at training and he wants to send you home or he wants to drop you, he can't do it. You know, he can't feel like, oh, I can't do it because the chairman or the guy above me will say, well, no, it's Neymar, we don't touch. It's Messi, you don't touch. It's Kylian, you don't touch. Let them do what they want, which is happening too often. And also, I think within that new manager, whoever's going to come in, the leadership within the dressing room has to be better. And maybe Sergio Ramos could have been that guy, but because he spent his life injured, it's just that authority is not there from him. But that leadership can also come from the dressing room. Hey, you're late? Why are you late? This is the last time. Next time, you're finished, you're gone here. And you know, the boys that have played in dressing room, that almost run itself. You didn't need the manager or people above to say, oh, you've done this wrong, you're going to get sanctioned, you need to pay a fine. Some players in these dressing rooms were doing that. They were leading that way, they were bossing, they were running it. And I think this has been missing maybe since Ibra left, really. It's been, even when Ibra was there, it was too egocentric. So there's so many things to change. And again, we go back to the summer. This is the time now to do the. Otherwise, they will keep being a marketing club and not a football club anymore.
Frank, Jules, you started that answer by saying that Pochettino is a good guy, you know, he's just the wrong job, and then you slagged him off for a while. Looking at overall, obviously Pochettino and his camp can pretty much say, look, Thomas Tuchel, Unai Emery, whoever you want to point at, they've all been here and they haven't been able to get the job done. So don't read too much into my time in Paris. Look at what I achieved at Spurs. Is he not as good as people think he is, Jules?
It's a really good point. It's a very good debate to have. I think this tarnishes a little bit his legacy and you know what he's done before. But you can't just go, look, he's failed in Paris, even if he wins Ligue 1, he's not good enough for a United or for Real Madrid and this like that, because the context is not the right one for him. If you want Poch at his best, he needs time. It is patience, which he had at Spurs. Remember again, we go back to the first season at Spurs. Difficult. It took him a lot of time to get going, for the players to come on board, for them to do what he wants. And he was given the time, and eventually it worked out and paid out and reached levels that you never thought that club would reach. With PSG, again, not that time. Do it straight away, he can't do that. If he goes to United, the people at United have to understand that he needs that time. If you want quick success, him to turn things around very quickly and go and win you the Premier League and bridge the gap with Liverpool and City and compete for the Champions League, this is not going to happen. This is dreamland. If you want United to be back there, he needs some time to do that, and he needs some resources, of course, and he needs to improve players. All of that will come with the time. And I think this is the key here. If you want to read this as, look, he failed in Paris, he can't succeed at United, at Old Trafford, of course, if you expect him to succeed in 18 months, that's not going to happen. However, if you give him a 5-year project with a proper direction and people with whom he can work closely above him, I think he can be a success. But don't read everything about what happened in Paris the last 18 months or 15 months right now, because it's not the whole truth about Pochettino.
Go on, Frank.
Dan, I think you already have the answer to your question with Emery and Tuchel, what they've done last season. You know, both of them, they have been really criticized. You know, they're not good coaches. They don't know how to handle the dressing room. The year after, they signed for other clubs, and they win one the Europa League, the other one 2 years after. But for Tuchel, the year after, he wins the Champions League. So it says a lot about how difficult or almost impossible it is to do your job or properly do your job at Paris Saint-Germain. So therefore, you can say Pochettino deserve another chance before being judged, because really, you cannot make a statement after somebody sacked from Paris Saint-Germain.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.